Hey guys, what's going on? It's after midnight. Just got finished watching Wrestlemania Night 2. And I gotta tell you, my mouth was left wide open because I was surprised. I really thought they were gonna go with Cody, take the title off of Roman. And, even when I was doing my early predictions, a small part of me thought they might keep the belt on Roman. But the issue with that is, well, first off, not every Royal Rumble winner is guaranteed to win. We've seen that over the years because there was a pattern going for a while that you were the Royal Rumble winner, you pretty much won the title, and we're seeing how they've been sort of mixing it up now, and they can continue this story. You know, they can keep pushing the Cody, his road to redemption to finish the story. And I had said that in a prior podcast that, you know, Cody doesn't necessarily have to win. They can push this, but the problem is, what do you do with Roman in the meantime? Now, there's stories out there that they have prominent plans for him going into the summer. Now you had The Rock earlier dropping a tease that, oh, well, I'll see Roman down the road. So was there some behind the scenes that The Rock has confirmed that he will do the match with Roman? And, when is that going to happen? Is that going to happen at SummerSlam? Is that going to happen at Crown Jewel? Is that going to happen at Survivor Series? Is that going to happen at the Royal Rumble? Or are you going to push this a year until WrestleMania 40? And can you push Roman, if that's the case, to be the champion until WrestleMania 40? I mean, unless you want to sort of do like, excuse me, do like an anniversary of, Roman hasn't been pinned since 2019. If you want to sort of tie that to something, I don't know if that was an event. I don't know if that was a SummerSlam. Let's just say that was a SummerSlam. Do you want him to like, okay, he hasn't been pinned and now he has? Where are we going with it? Because now that's the question now. Where are we going with this? And, I'm sure at Backlash, Roman is probably not going to defend the title. He's probably going to have the night off. It'll probably be main evented by the tag team titles, most likely. Where do you go with Roman now? Does Cody win Money in the Bank and then cash in at SummerSlam? And while SummerSlam is not a throwaway pay per view by any means, something like this, should that be done at a SummerSlam? Should it really be done at a WrestleMania? Or you can tie it in and say, hey, Roman came back at SummerSlam, I believe, when he won. I believe it was still COVID. They were still in the Thunderdome. And could you say, okay, Roman's going to lose the title at the event that he won it at 2 years ago? Could you go that route? Yes. If you're not, and you're going to try to stretch this thing another year with him, who are you putting in front of him that we haven't seen? Yeah, you got Braun Breaker. I mean, as far as a fresh face, does he go at Johnny Gargano? Do we start using some of the guys you brought back? Excuse me. Or do you start recycling? Do we go back to a Kevin Owens? Do we go back to a Sami Zayn? Do we go back to a Drew McIntyre? Do we go back to a Randy Orton? Do you turn Bobby? Well, Bobby Lashley's pretty much a face. Do you do Bobby Lashley versus Roman now? We don't need to see Brock again. Do you circle back to Seth Rollins? If Randy Orton is healthy, do you go back to Randy Orton? If Riddle is good, do you go back to Riddle? Do you bring Edge back in? I mean, do we just start recycling these guys again to push it until you're ready to get Cody back? Because my vision is they're building up Austin Theory. But now, if you're going to stretch this and you're going to have Cody, you know, win it at WrestleMania 40 against Roman, does that mean Cody has to win the Royal Rumble again? And he'll be another person that's done it back to back. So that's the big question coming out of this is what's next? Hell, what's next for the bloodline? Does Roman come out on SmackDown and say, yeah, excuse me, I won my match, but the Usos failed. So are the Usos going to be out of the bloodline? Do they have to fight their way back into the bloodline? What's up with Solo? So there's a lot of, like I said, WrestleMania is sort of a reset. So big questions surrounding what's going to happen with the Bloodline. Do the Bloodline get both titles back? Do they get one set of the titles back? What happens? Does Roman not acknowledge that they lost? What happens? Does Roman dissolve the Bloodline and just say, you know what? I just need Solo. You guys failed. You guys are out. And then is it a quest now of the Usos getting back into the good graces of the Bloodline? Very interesting. Does Braun Breaker come out on Friday and say, I'm your next challenger? Where do we go from now? Where do we go? Who does Roman face? How do you do this? And how do you keep it interesting to the point where, people, like I said, Roman is not going to wrestle in every single event. He's not. So you have, sometimes we can just pull him away. But how do you elevate this? And now, I've said this before, when was the last time you saw an Intercontinental title main event? Anything. And you saw the match that just happened. So is it because you're looking to elevate Austin Theory? Do you continue now to have the United States Championship main event your events when Roman's not around? Or now do you try to elevate your Intercontinental title and have that main event? So a lot of questions that answers coming out of WrestleMania. I'm not mad at the result. I mean, I thought the match was good, full of a lot of ups and downs. I'm not mad at the result. Now it's just kind of like, okay, wow, what are they going to do to blow us away? Because I think everybody was expecting this to be over. And for Roman to sort of fade away, not fade away, but, take time away. But don't forget, we've heard the stories that there were plans for him even after WrestleMania. So what happens next? What happens with Cody? Does Cody disappear for a while? Or does Cody say, okay, I continue the story. I have to finish the story. And then now he set his sights on Money in the Bank next. And Cody wins Money in the Bank. And then he cashes in an opportunity. And does he cash it in at SummerSlam? Are we sort of going to have sort of a Roman-esque where, Roman was supposed to keep facing Brock Lesnar. He faced him twice at WrestleMania before, and he lost. And he finally beat him, I think, at SummerSlam. Is this what we're going to do? Are we going to, again, continue this for a year, have Cody lose again, and then finally he wins the following year? But again, keep us interested. And then again, what happens with The Rock? Is The Rock teasing us? Is something really going to happen? Or is it going to be Rock versus Roman at, let's say, SummerSlam, and let's say Cody has Money in the Bank, Roman beats The Rock, Cody cashes in and then wins that way? Different scenarios that we could go. But I think you need to give Roman some fresh faces, which is going to be hard to do because you have to find things to do with the other guys. And your fresh face is most likely Braun Breaker. The reason why I keep bringing him up is because he just dropped the NXT title, which usually means his next stop is to the main roster. So, interesting. Let's see what happens. As far as the rest of the card goes, I mean, besides this match and the Intercontinental Championship match, Sunday night was pretty weak. Nobody gave a shit about the women's tag match. The Omos Brock Lesnar match was pretty much what you expected. Not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they faced off again, but the match is what I think we all expected. Went a little longer than I thought. I will admit that, but I think the outcome was what we expected. I think we expected Omos to toss him around a little bit, and then for Brock to hit his suplexes, go to Suplex City, hit his F5, and the match is over. I mean, that's basically what it was. The Shane McMahon thing. I mean, the first thing I thought about when he hurt himself was Vince. And then I go online, and then you see people making the same comparison that he wanted to pay homage to Vince, and they're showing where Vince, tore his quad in that Royal Rumble. Was it 2005 that he did that? So, unbelievable. He's too damn old to be jumping up like that. That's why his ass hurt himself. But unbelievable. But they made up for it. The stuff with Snoop was pretty cool. I didn't realize how old Snoop looked. Probably because he always has his glasses on. I mean, Snoop still looks good, but just like around his eyes, you can just really see that he's aged. But Snoop is still cool though. The Hell in a Cell match, I wasn't blown away. It was a little slower paced than what I wanted it to be, but it was okay. I don't rank it up there as one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches at all. I mean, we all know what the greatest Hell in a Cell match is. We all know what number two is. Um, it's debatable at number three, but we all know number one is obviously Undertaker and Mankind, and we know number two is Undertaker and Shawn Michaels as the two best Hell in a Cells. Um, so this one, I'm sorry, comes nowhere near it. Heel Demon Finn Balor. Excuse me again, the COVID cough. I apologize. Heel Demon Finn Balor. I don't think anybody really cares about. I don't think it's that good. And I'm sorry, the Demon should always be a babyface to me. That's just me. It sucks that Bobby Lashley didn't get his match. And then the other thing that was you know pretty good was that Intercontinental match. I mean, it was brutal. I think it's the right outcome because again, if your plan is to get Gunther um, to wrestle Brock Lesnar, you need to make Gunther look strong, and his booking hasn't been that way. But give him some wins, beat the right people, you can make it believable. Like, okay, this guy can take him. But that match was hard hitting. I mean, with those three guys, what else do you expect? But I do think Sheamus, before his career's over, I think he does deserve a mega push. Sheamus has been around for a long time. Sheamus is not going to be anybody's Mount Rushmore, but the guy's put in a lot of time, and the guy's giving you a lot of entertaining moments. So, the guy um, you know, deserves what he's getting right now. Um, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have the match card in front of me, but like I said, comparing Sunday to Saturday. Oh, the Oscar match with Bianca Belair. I thought Oscar was going to win, but when you saw Bianca Belair's entrance, sometimes the entrances can give it away of who's going to win. And once I saw the entrance with the little girls dancing, there was no way they were going to have Bianca Belair lose after that. You know, there was just no way. A little disappointed. I thought Oscar should have won. I do think Oscar will probably win. If they do a rematch at Backlash or something, I think Oscar will win. I think Oscar deserves another run. And I like the way they're booking Oscar right now. So I was a little surprised to see that she didn't come out on top. But I believe I have covered all the matches. Um, like I said, the women's tag was just a snoozer. The Brock match is what you thought it was going to be. But that match with the championship, that had a lot. I mean, you expect the false finishes and all that stuff, but I really thought, I really thought Cody was going to win. I really do. And if you think about it, there's a lot of parallels to this because remember when they thought Roman was going to win at 31, where what's his face Seth cashed in. Roman's family was there and everything, and they all thought. And remember, there was reports that his family was angry that he didn't win, that Seth cashed in because they thought that was it. So sort of the same thing. Cody had his family there, and he didn't win. So there's some parallels here. And like I said, are we going to do the parallels to Brock Lesnar where Cody is chasing him, loses, and then he finally gets it? Now I don't know if they're gonna. I don't think they'll stretch it like 3 years like they did with Brock and Roman, but it's definitely not the last time we're going to see this. But that's it for this year's WrestleMania. WrestleMania 39 is in the books. Overall, it was an okay WrestleMania. Like I said, it's not going to rank up there as one of the greatest WrestleManias. I mean, everybody has their picks. You have the fight of WrestleMania 17 was the best. You have that WrestleMania 18 was the best. You have that The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania 25 was the best WrestleMania match. Everybody's going to have their opinion on it, but I think we can all agree that this WrestleMania is probably not going to make anybody's top five. Maybe top 10, but I don't think it'll make anybody's top five. it was what it was. It's in the books. Um, Now we head up to see what they're going to try to plan out. Excuse me, for the biggest part of the summer, which is SummerSlam. And listen, we're in April. Look how fast April got here. August will be here before you know it. And that's how I look at these things. You look forward to the Royal Rumble because the Royal Rumble sets you up for WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? WrestleMania now is that I think after WrestleMania that paves you to what we're going to do for SummerSlam. And I think after SummerSlam, that pretty much gives you the idea of two things: what's going to happen for Survivor Series and what's going to happen into the Royal Rumble. I think SummerSlam sets up two events because those are the big four. That's what they've always been, the big four. They're called that for a reason. And each pay per view of the big four leads in and sets you up for the next thing. So, what's going to happen with Money in the Bank? I'll probably say, I don't know if I would count Money in the Bank as, and start going back to the big five. Because remember, at one point it was the big five. It was Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, King of the Ring, excuse me, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Right? That was five, right? Royal Rumble, yes. And then King of the Ring went away, and we went back to the big four. King of the Ring kind of came in, went away, came in, went away. Now they're going to bring it back to King and Queen of the Ring. They're going to bring that back now. But I think to some degree, we could start including Money in the Bank. Like I said, I don't think you need to build a whole event around Money in the Bank. I've said this before. I don't think Money in the Bank needs to be a standalone. I think you could put that on SummerSlam. I think you could put that on WrestleMania. You could do it on Raw, SmackDown. I don't think you have to do a standalone event for it, but they do. And in that case, you can probably say that's the big five. So could you say now it's Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and then Survivor Series? I think you can make an argument for it. Because now that's the next thing that's on your mind. Yes, it's SummerSlam, but in between you have Money in the Bank, and now it's like, well, who's going to have the briefcase going into SummerSlam? So we'll see what happens, but hope you guys enjoyed it. I ate way too much. I gotta get back on this diet. I keep saying that, but things have just been so rough lately. Time-wise, it's just they always say you can always find 30 minutes, but right now I'm doing two jobs because I'm still hoping my old job. And the problem is, and tell me if you guys feel this when you guys want to get back into shape. You feel like if you spend time, if you take that 30 minutes to go do a workout, don't you feel like that's the 30 minutes that I could be doing to finishing this so I don't have to do it later or get a leg up? That's how I look at it. I'm like, that hour, if I put it into this, that's, a bunch of stuff that's work that's done. But, I'm hoping a month from now I'll be done with the two jobs and I'll just be back to my one. I'll be done with my own job. And I can get back to focusing on, dropping this weight because I probably have about like 80 pounds I got to drop. I mean, I've lost over 60 before. I guess I can do it again, although I'm older now. But I think I could do it again. But I hate feeling like this when I eat. I get so stuffed. Oh, God. But I had wings. I had pizza. I had nachos. I had pretzel nuts. I mean, it was WrestleMania. I had calamari. I didn't eat it all by myself. I had friends over, but it was WrestleMania weekend, and I just thought, you gotta have a little bit of a party when it comes to WrestleMania weekend. But I'm gonna tell you this: when SummerSlam comes around, Survivor Series, I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do it because for these big events, I like to have a little bit of a party, or my friend likes to have a party, and But now, I'm getting too old. I can't be eating like this anymore. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed WrestleMania. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please like and subscribe. Please leave your comments. Let me know what you thought. And I will talk to you guys later.